Before we go any further, let's look at the new help facility in DOS 6.0. Lisa, type help, a space, dir, and press enter to further explain what we have done so far. This new help screen follows the usual Microsoft conventions. There is a title bar and a menu bar with file, search and help menu titles at the top of the screen. There are keyboard shortcuts located at the bottom left of the screen and a mouse drag bar on the far right side of the screen. Let's look around for a moment. In the center of the screen is a definition of dir that explains what the dir command does. Below that is the word syntax, computer talk for the standard way of asking DOS to carry out commands. All DOS commands from append to xcopy follow this basic format: command name, space parameter, space switches. Syntax here shows the command dir followed by several things in brackets, which means that these are optional parts of the command. There are 3 parameter elements available for dir. The first is drive, which means you can type dir space a colon and press enter to see what files are on drive A. When we did this before, we went to drive A using the drive command and then did a dir. By using the drive element in your dir parameter, you can work from where you are without changing directories. The second and third elements are path and file name, which allow you to find specific files in specific places. Press down arrow until the word parameters is at the top of the screen to see the dir parameters. You could use dir with the drive and the path elements, such as c:\\, wp51 / document, to show you all the files in a document subdirectory of a word processing directory on the C drive. Something to remember here, folks: even though some commands don't need a space, it's a good idea to always use a space after a command and the first parameter and between parameters. Lisa, press the down arrow again to see the dir switches, which indicate how the command is to be carried out. We have already seen how the /p and w switches work. And if you keep pressing the down arrow key, you will see the rest of the switches available in DOS 6.0. For example, you can combine /p and /o to give you an alphabetical display by the page. There is a lot more to help, so let's use it to find out even more about dir. Lisa, up arrow until the cursor is on the word note, which has graphic marks surrounding it. To move between these or any other topics encased in these marks, press Tab to move ahead or Shift Tab to move back. Press Tab and Enter to see examples of the dir command and its parameters. The title block changes to MS-DOS Help dir examples. Look at the dir /s/w/o/p example. Lisa, pull down the File menu and exit out of this help screen so we can try its dir example. At the DOS prompt, cd back to the root directory. Then type dir space /s/w/o/p and press enter. You just asked dir to list the names of the subdirectories of the root directory and the names of the files in the root directory, including extensions. Then dir lists the subdirectory names and file names in each subdirectory in the directory tree. This should list all the files and subdirectories on your C drive. You may be surprised how many files there are. Lisa, if you don't want to view all the files at this time, you may press the Control and C keys at the same time to end the display.
Professor, I understand looking at files on a floppy disk using the dir command, but I'm a little confused looking at the directories on the hard drive.
Lisa, a hard disk can hold many different programs on it. The one program every computer must have is DOS. Other popular programs are word processors for creating text documents. Databases are used to keep track of names and addresses, such as you see in the phone book. Spreadsheets are used to keep track of finances, using numbers like a calculator to show profit and loss. Desktop publishing lets you draw things and design the way you might put a newsletter together. And of course, there are games. Each of these programs lists as a directory on the hard drive, and each directory contains its own files. To help keep the programs separate and organized on your hard disk, different directories are created for each. And within these directories, you create more directories or subdirectories to put and organize different types of data created within those programs. In this example, the first directory on the hard disk is called the root directory. This is what DOS looks at when you first boot the computer and get the C prompt. Then DOS has its own directory. Other directories would be for the programs we mentioned earlier. Then each of the programs could have subdirectories of their own. The structure of these directories is referred to as the directory tree because the different branches from the root directory does resemble a tree. Lisa typed tree, a space, and a backslash. The backslash tells DOS to display the tree beginning at the root directory. Now press Enter. Here is how DOS displays our tree structure. Viewers, yours will look different depending on how your computer is set up. We'll see more of this when we get to the shell. Remember we had you type cd/DOS? That told DOS to look at the DOS directory. Again, the CD stands for Change Directory. To change to any of these directories from the command line, you type cd/ and the name of that directory. Although it's good to understand the principles of how this works, selecting directories in the shell, as we'll see in a moment, is much easier.